He was the winner of the CBS reality show Big Brother. He won big and lost it all to drugs, prison, rehab. He's been through it all. Adam Jasinski has written a book titled My Kids on Drugs, Now What? We have a picture of that book we wanted to show you. So Adam, I wanted to thank you for joining us. Now, a lot of your problems in the beginning of your journey stem from mental illness. I want to talk to you about undiagnosed mental illness.
Oh man, it is really something that I have a deep passion for, because when I was little, the stories told that my parents knew something was off and they tried to get me as best help they could. And when they placed me with the doctor, they prescribed me medications that I was not necessary. They misclassified me as ADD, and there was zero follow-up afterwards.
Okay, we'll get to all of that, but what were the first signs that something wasn't right for you?
For me, the first sign something wasn't right was I was super acting out in the way I behaved. And when you're developmental stages, like in high school and whatnot, and growing up, you're very influenced, and the brain's just developing. And I was very hyper, very acting out, very not behaving the way you would expect someone to at that age. So we noticed something was wrong.
Something was wrong.
Something was definitely off, and the way it figured itself out was, mom knows something's wrong, dad refuses to admit that there's something wrong.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the family dynamics. How were they reacting to when something was wrong, and then once you were diagnosed, how did they react?
Well, what happened was my mom is all about make your baby better. She's all about Mama Bear wants your child to be okay. My mother did all she could and put her heart, her soul into fighting for me because she knew something was off. My father, on the other hand, was the kind of guy where, nothing's wrong with my kid. He's just big in spirit and has a, big personality. He's okay. He'll fight through it.
Right. Okay. So once you did get, quote, diagnosed, was this the right diagnosis?
Listen, Warren, not at all. They completely had me way off. What happened?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the time, I grew up in the time where ADD was the big thing. It was the it thing. They were prescribing Ritalin like it was, OxyContin nowadays. So I'm 13, 14 years old with a prescription for Ritalin when all the kids in high school are sniffing it. So
okay, so do you think this was a big problem? A lot of kids were getting misdiagnosed?
Oh, I think it's a very, very, very big problem, and it's still a very popular problem today. That's why I'm glad to have you on the show to really talk about this, so parents out there can be aware of what's going on.
So you didn't really have ADD, you had some form of mental illness.
Bipolar type 1, complete mania. It was totally missed, totally undiagnosed. I went to a doctor maybe twice. They gave me my prescription for ADD and wrote it off, and there was zero follow-up, Warren, zero.
So, you got this medication, and it didn't work right away?
I took it for a couple days, and then I ended up selling it in school.
Okay. So what was the problem? It wasn't the right medication, or you just got a high off of it and you said, hey, I wanted to share it with everybody?
I didn't like it, and I was trying to fit in. You're trying to be cool, and it's the popular thing, and everyone's like, hey, they prescribe. I was like, went to the doctor yesterday. Like, what'd they give you? Oh, Ritalin. Like, oh, give me some. And next thing you know, my friends are all snorting it. So it happens that fast when you're that age.
Okay.
And that's what the moral of the story is here, Warren, is that when you're young, you're influential. You're influenced easily. And for me, all the outside influence trumped my personal health care.
Okay, so let's go fast forward. Okay, you get beyond the ADD medication, you find out you have mental illness, you're bipolar. What do they give you then, and how does that help you?
And for years, the undiagnosis continued.
Okay.
So to lead up to that, Warren, there was zero follow-up when I was younger, so that left me on my own. So I was there to grow up and turn into a man with zero guidance. We knew something was wrong in the beginning. Then fast forward till I'm 30, so I went from 13 to 30 with zero help. I went to the doctor twice, and they let me on my own. And
so what I'm hearing is there's really no follow-up, there's no comprehensive approach with your family doctor.
Exactly.
It's just like they give you the prescription and they think you're one and done.
Yep, and they think you're one done, and you're a child, you're 13, 14, 15 years old, and they expect you to do it all on your own. Parents need to be vigilant. Even the 14-year-olds need to be vigilant about their mental health. If you're going to treat something, you got to continue to treat it. It's not a one and done.
Okay, so let's say you do get that comprehensive care. But is one medication going to work for someone who's bipolar?
You see, and that brings me to when I'm bipolar. When I finally got diagnosed at 30 years old, I took it into my own hands, and I was very vigilant about the medication. I made sure what I took it and spoke about the effects of the medication. You go every month. You got in a regular schedule, and I stuck to that schedule, and I got my medication. I saw how I felt, and we added, subtracted, and moved a combination of medications. It took me about a year or two to find the right
mixture.
Yep.
So it's work, and patients need to understand this, and parents need to understand this.
It's work. It's dedication, commitment. You're there to get better.
One thing I want to ask you really quickly is, what's it like, being alone? What is the biggest pitfall for someone who's going through this kind of issue?
It's you know what, for me it hits home so hard because it was so tough for me, Warren. And the biggest pitfall is you feel like you're on an island. You feel like you're stranded and you're by yourself, and something's not right, and you don't know what to do.
This is even with your medication?
I mean, with my medication now, I learn to be vocal. I learn to speak out.
Hey, I need help. I need to talk to someone.
Yeah,
I need a
pair
friend.
with the medication 100% is speaking to a counselor. You need to have someone that you can vocalize your feelings, your thoughts, and to kind of coach you through your symptoms. Every mental illness has symptoms.
Okay, Adam, thank you so much. Will you come back?
I can talk to you guys all day about this stuff, Warren. I'm so glad you guys have me out.
We really appreciate you sharing your journey.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more on Daily Flash.